Okay. So if you want to check for your zonings, you have to change from the candlestick to a line chart. The line chart is going to help you see all the what? The retests. If you can look at it properly, you can see the retest. Price going up all the way from here. Let me change this to pencil. Price went all the way to this place. It came down here, did this, came down here, did this, came down here. You can see it. Consolidated, broke here, came back up and started going down. You can see it, consolidation here and this way. So how can you identify that this pattern is going to be going up or this pattern is going to do what? Come down. We're going to draw that using our zones to identify it. Now, I'm going to reset this chart first. You know, if you reset this chart, you see that there are so many. It's just like a heartbeat. When someone is in the hospital and they put the machines and you can see your heartbeat going up and down, you can be a bit confused. You don't know where to draw your zone. So you need to zoom out, zoom the chart out like this. And where you zoom it out, you can now identify a proper what? Zones. And how can I identify that proper zone? Let me show you something. Something of this nature. This consolidation here. That is where price was consolidating. I'll teach you how to mark it up with your rectangle. Something of this nature as well. You can see that, something of this nature as well. All these things, this is where there's a strong fight between the bulls and the bear. Indecision is being made there. They don't know what they're doing. Do you understand? So when you draw your rectangle, it will now show you how price will respect that area. So I'll delete this and I'll show you how to draw this part. Now, while you do this, how to identify your first zone. The most recent pullback. The most recent pullback. That is the first one you are going to identify. Now, you can see from the market here that there's an uptrend here before this particular move down here. Then this will continue. So we're going to use the most recent pullback. I need you to jot things down. The most recent pullback, that's what we're using to identify these zones. And the most recent pullback here, you can see it down here. This particular one here. All this area. I'll circle it. You can see it here. That's where it happens. This location here. So what we're going to do is pick our rectangular box and pick it from here you can see it up to this place. I'm sure you all are seeing what I'm doing. The beginning of the words of the pullback and the end of the pullback. This is the most recent one here. So you measure your rectangle from the top to the bottom. Then you do what? You stretch it. You stretch it this way. So since this one is closer to this, we're not going to use this. We're going to use this particular one here. While I'm using my pencil to draw it, is for you to know where this particular pullback I'm using, which particular consolidations line I'm using, the zone. You can see it here. So I'll delete this and use my rectangular box to identify that. All the way from here. You can stretch it to any length you want to. I'm sure everyone is following. You understand what I'm doing. If you want to start from here too, you can see this this like a double bottom here. Let me identify it with a pencil. Here, here, and here. These two parts. You see where price was coming down and did a pullback, did a double bottom and went up. So I'm going to delete this. I will delete it and I'll use my rectangular box to identify it. With this zoning structure or zoning strategy, you can use it as well to know your break and retest. You wait for price to break above or below your zones, do a retest, then you can do what? Enter your what? Your trade. Now I'm going to change this to candlestick and you'll see how price respected each zone. Reset. You can see it. Now we enter this trade exactly what? Let me see my first. I'm going to show my first chart. So you can see what I spotted and I decided to do what? Take this trade. But before that, let me explain how to enter your zoning. I want to check the first entry for gold. The first entry for gold, this is 49,400. That was 1755.77. Okay, that's our first entry for gold. 1757.77. All right. So that should be somewhere around here. 1757. That's 1,750. Let me use a horizontal line to identify it. 1757.77. Okay, beautiful. So we picked it at the tip here, exactly here, because I saw the W pattern. Let me go to 15 minutes. So I'll show you the structure that I saw that made me say, enter this trade immediately. You know, I just saw it and I said, buy gold. You can see the W pattern here. This how a W form, like this. So I saw this, and immediately I saw this, I said, let's enter this trade because I'm expecting it to do what? Go this way. That was why we picked the buy. But now let me show you how you can identify the zone first before your entry on the 1 hour, before you take it. So let's go to 1 hour. If you're using this strategy, I use it on 1 hour. You can use it on any time frame. You can use it on 15 minutes. You can use it on 30 minutes. You can use it on 1 hour, anyone, but I prefer to use it on 1 hour. Okay, now how do I enter this after identifying my zone? The first thing you need to wait for is for price to break out of your zone. I'm sure I'm still audible. If you can hear me, please type 333 on the chat box and you can see my screen. Please type 333 on the chat box. I think I need to log in with sorry about that. Okay, my chat is blinking. I'm sure everyone can hear me. Okay, beautiful. I needed to know that I'm actually. So what you would do is wait for price to break out of your zone, just like what you're seeing here. Let me use a pencil to identify it. Break out of your zone like this. You can see a clean breakout. Then you wait for a retest on your zone. As soon as price retests on your zone like this, without apology, take your buy to the next zone. Your next zone will be your exit. The next zone will be your exit. So if you were there in the first class, you could see how I gave my TPs, because I was giving my TP based on the zones, on each zone. If you were there, if you took the TP, I gave 3 TPs. Then the next entry I saw again, I gave another TP because price broke out of it. So let me close this and go back to my ruler. Now price broke out of the zone, did a retest, then you take your buy to the next zone. Your next zone is your exit. But before you can identify this zone, you saw the way I drew everything. Because anytime you see something like this on a line chart, let me zoom out to the last. When you see things like this on a line chart, it means that price is consolidating and there's something happening there that is making price to consolidate. If I can scroll back you will see that this place we drew our zone is a very strong area. You can see it. Let me draw it with a pencil. You can see how price respected it here. You can see how price respected it here. You can also see how price respected it here until there was a breakout and a retest on this particular zone. You know one thing about Forex, what happened in the past is going to repeat itself in the future. If I draw this one I drew to, you will see, sorry. Hold on. If I draw this same one, you will see that price, if you go to the past, you will see that price respected that area very well. So now, when this happened, there was a breakout here, price retested it, did all this thing up, came down to that particular zone to test it, to show you that this area of concentration, there's something about it that price keeps coming back there. So immediately I saw this double bottom, I actually spotted it on 15 minutes, not on 1 hour. I decided to take my buy because I knew it was time for price to go up. So like I said earlier, before you, after drawing, spotting your zones, whether on a resistance zone or in a support zone, but now we're dealing with gold because gold, we started a buy on it, and you drew our zone, and we're expecting buy to do for the price to keep going up. But before you can do it, not just for you to see that price has broken out of the zone and you start buying, always wait for a retest, because the buy could either be a fake out. It can just do this and break this zone and start coming down. But when you do a retest and it respects that particular zone, take your buy. Your TP should be on the next zone. And you can see that price did what? Came to our TP, started consolidating until it broke out again. You can see this breakout. Now, let me give you an example. If that you saw this breakout and you did not wait for a retest, and price decided to buy, let's say you saw this breakout 1, 2, 3 candle, and you decided to take a buy, and what happened to this? It comes down, it will hit your stop loss because your stop loss is below what? Your what? Below your zone. That's why your stop loss should be. So imagine you took this buy. So when it break out from here, and if you take the buy, what happens? It will come down and hit your what? Your stop loss. So always wait, be patient enough to wait for a retest. Now you can see that this price retested back in the zone. You need to wait to see if it's going to break out of the zone. Maybe come down like this. Let me use my pencil. Maybe do a breakout this way. Do a retest before you do what? Sell. But because nothing like this happened, you have to wait. Price is consolidating. All this is what? Consolidation. Nothing is happening here. All you need to do is sit down on your hand and wait for price. But now, why we took this buy again, if you can see, I'll show you my entry, my new entry. You can see I have on gold. Okay, I think I've deleted, I deleted some entry because I had 1795. You can see I had 1795. I also had 18. I think I had 18 something, but I closed that one in profit. I just needed to have this. I had about 4 entry on gold, but I closed it and left 2. This was my first entry, and this one was another one I entered at 1795. So this is let me go back to the chart. 1795 should be somewhere around here, because I'm looking at a longer period of time. I said gold is going to exit somewhere around 1845. So I'm looking for you to keep buying. Now you can see that there's a breakout here, and this bearish candle here did what? A retest on top of my zone. It did a retest on top of this zone. You can see how market closed, showing me a buy signal. So it's for me to wait for what happened in the market and see if I'll continue buying. But for me, gold is buying up towards 1845 to this area. Sorry, let me delete this. So as soon as market open, I am still confident that this market is going to buy what? Up to this place. That's why I left the position that is actually secured. So if something like this happen, if the market open, I'm expecting what? More buys up to this area. So for me, gold is still a buy for me. I am still looking for buy for gold. Remember when we took this gold last week, a student was contesting it, there was a sell. You know, one thing for you to know that you're a good trader, or you to know, is for you to believe in your own analysis. Even if I tell you that I am buying gold and you see a sell in gold, confidently take your what? Your sell. Because you have a stop loss and you have a take profit. Two things will either happen. It's either hit your stop loss or hit your take profit. But you don't just enter it because you're seeing a red candle. You need to enter it based on the what? Analysis that you've taken. I took this one based on my analysis that I know that gold is going to do what? Appreciate. The value of gold is going to appreciate. That is why I chose to do what? Keep buying my gold. So after this consolidation, I'm expecting a breakout like this again. If it breaks out, it can decide to retest this zone again before it comes out up. Because, you know, trading is not just a one-way thing. Anytime you see something like this, news happened. Anytime you see something like this, it was what? Fundamental. Technical analysis, we take it slow, one step at a time. But when you see news break a zone like that, you know that something happened. This was what news happened. This was news. Something must have happened and it gave you this long move, came back, did a little retest, broke it, and all to this way. So that's what fundamental does. But looking at the analysis and everything, for me, gold is going to do what? Buy. So let's go to 15 minutes and see if we can see an entry. I'll reset this chart. Now you can see everything here. It's showing clearly that gold is still going to buy. See the candle here, indecision candle. Let me zoom it in clearly. You can see all this candle. This one closed as a pin bar, though it's on 15 minutes, but it still indicates for me that yes, after this breakout, you can see the clear breakout, see the retest here, back on this zone, and I'm expecting it to what? Keep buying. So if the market opens, allow it to stay like 1 hour, because I keep telling you guys to wait for 1 hour, because immediately the market opens, there's always a gap, a very large gap in the market. So if you enter immediately, you might be in loss, if a very big loss. So after 1 hour, by the time everything has settled, you can decide to take your buy. So if you've not taken buy on gold, my analysis on gold is buy. Let me use this to check my long position. So if you're buying gold to this zone, 1850, let's say 1850, your stop loss should be, you can decide to choose any stop loss of your choice. If you're choosing 55 pips, 50 pips, any stop loss of your choice, this was happened, but this is how. But the normal stop loss should be anything below what? The zone. But it's going to be very much. This is about 140 pips. The risk is much. Depends on your account anyway. That's why this particular strategy, the risk is actually very large. But you can determine how much you want to lose based on what you have in your account. So if you are choosing maybe between 50 to 30 pips or anything you're choosing, that is your own discretion. But for me, I'm thinking of what? Buying gold as soon as market open. I still have my buy position. So I can choose to enter again or wait to see what happens in the market before I take my buy. Because all my trades are actually secured. So that is for gold. If you have any question, you can put it on the chat box. While we go to the next one. Any question you have, you can put it on the chat box. So the next is GJ. I spotted a sell on GJ. I actually took the sell, but I closed in loss. Why? Because it wasn't ready. So I had to close in loss. You know, I'm growing that account. That account is $15 account. It's a $15 account. You know, when I started the account, now it's $107. The equity is 177. Anything can happen here because the actual money I have is 107, which has been secured because all the trades here are secured. But this one is 177 now. So the $15 has actually increased to 107. So my goal is to keep doing well and trading on the account, because I want to grow it from 2 figures to 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on when I get tired of doing trading on the account. So when I saw this, I closed out because this push, this momentum is still very strong. Very strong. And Konzi said in the group, immediately he posted in the group that he doesn't see GJ selling immediately, that is not ready. I went back to look at my analysis and I knew that yes, this pair is not ready. So it's not about me being the best. There's so many people that are very good in that group. So you need to listen to everybody when they're talking about the trade. When I saw this momentum, I said, I know it's not ready to sell yet. So I'm not going to do what, take it. So if you want to draw your zone on this, you come to H1, you zoom out and you change it to what? What will you change it to? Line charts. Why line charts? It will help you identify your zone very well. If you use your candlestick, you might not identify it. You know, when it's like this, you will see how the consolidation is. Let me draw another one. You can see here. See this pullback here. You see this one here. Everything here, this consolidation, you can see them here. It will help you drag whatever you're dragging. So you understand, okay, this is what I'm doing, that is what I'm doing. And I'm going to delete this and we'll look for, let me see. Okay, there's one here. You know, by the time I squeezed it, it covered that particular pullback. You know, I told you the most recent pullback. And this is the most recent pullback, even though when you squeeze it, you wouldn't see it. So I'm going to draw it from there, then squeeze the chart back so I can identify the other ones. The most recent pullback. And by the time you do it and you stretch it, you will see that it will always respect one particular place. It will always respect it. Always. You can see it here. After drawing it, you identify that, see what happened. Where's the pencil? Something happened here. There was a wall here before a breakout. There was a wall here too before another breakout. There was another wall here before another breakout. You see how it works. So you always do that. You can, like I said, you can do it on any time frame, but I prefer 1 hour to identify it. So this is the first one. I've identified this. I will identify another one. This is another pullback here. You know, after the most recent one, you start going either up or down to identify your pullbacks. This is another pullback somewhere down here. You can see it. This is another pullback. This one here. This one here. This one. There's another pullback somewhere here. Sure everyone is following. Okay, I'm going to change this to candlestick and I will zoom out so we can see how price, you can look at price just kept breaking, and I was just going up, up, up. So immediately I saw this momentum, I was like, this guy is not ready to sell now. The only thing that will make me to sell this candle is if I see what? Market open and there's a stop here. This zone rejects it. Another red candle what is rejected here, then I know that it's ready to do what? Come down. But if not, if this candle breaks this zone and there's a retest here, I'll do what? I'll buy. But if it doesn't, and it does like this, retest here, the sell will do what happen. But for now, there's nothing here for me to do. That was why I closed in loss, because I was not seeing any opportunity. You know, there was a time we get in your life, you don't just trade. You wait for opportunity. If there's no opportunity, you let the trade go. So for GJ, I have to wait for more confirmation before I can take the trade. For now, I'm not seeing anything. Even if I go to 15 minutes and look for structure, I've not seen any structure that will determine me to do what? To take my trade. There's no M. There's no cone. When I mean M, I'm expecting to see something of this nature. Let's say I see something like this. Then I can say, yes, price wants to sell. I'll wait for something like this, then I'll sell this way. So when you see a structure like this, just like what you see here, you can see this beautiful double pattern. See, it went up, came down again. Let me delete this. I'm not drawing it well. I'm using my mouse, that's why. It went up here, did this, came down, and what happened? So 15 minutes will always give you a structure, a pattern. It will give you the go ahead for you to do what? Look at the M structure here. After the consolidation and breakout, did like this, came down here. You will see it happen. See W pattern. You will see it happen. All those things, you will see the patterns there. That will give you the confidence to do what? Take the trade. But now there's no pattern on 15 minutes. Maybe when the market opens and it gives me a pattern to trade, then I know that yes, I'm taking this. But for now, the bulls are still fighting. They're still pushing. So GJ, I'm going to wait. I'll sit on my hands and wait for something to happen with GJ. So no trade here. Let me text here. Okay, I didn't write anything in gold. Buy opportunity. XAU USD. TP 1845. SL, you determine that 50 to 70 pips, depending on how much you can lose. Okay, that's for gold. GJ, no opportunity. No opportunity yet. Sit on your hands. We're taught that, you know, when you're sitting down and you put your hand, you sit on top of your hands. It will control your emotion for you not to tamper with your MT4, for you not to trade. Instead of you to just pick anything and start buying. If you miss the buy from here, you miss the buy from here, you also miss the buy from here, there's no point for you to take any trade. You have to wait, sit on your hands, don't take any opportunity. Even if you are tempted to scalp, do not scalp. Because scalping is even dangerous, because now price is on the resistance zone. This is a resistance zone for price. You need confirmation to know if you're going to take this trade or not. So the next is Euro USD. I'm on a buy on Euro USD. Let me check if I'm still there. Yes, I think I'm on a buy on two position. 1, 2, yeah, Euro USD. I have $3 here and I have $5 here. Beautiful. Oh, I'm also on USD JPY. I didn't remember that. Okay, so Euro USD, I'm on a buy on it. So what made me pick my buy on Euro USD? If you have any pair you want me to analyze, type it on the chat box. Type it on the chat box. This is a very beautiful and simple one. Looking at it alone, you will know that you can even see a head and shoulder. Left shoulder, the big head, and the right shoulder. So what we're waiting for again is another breakout, retest, and another what? Buy opportunity to keep going up. But let me see, what are we going to do to determine that? How did I know that Euro USD was going to buy? GBP USD and Euro GBP. Okay. So I'm going to change this to line charts. Yeah, zoom out. This is the most recent one. You can see the push up, the pull back, and the push up. So you pick your horizontal line, the most recent pullback. This is the most recent pullback. This particular one here. This one, I'm sure you understand it. That's the most recent pullback. Then you pick another one, you can see a pullback here too. And you draw your This is the best way to identify support and resistance zone. Using your line chart, it will make it a whole lot easier for you. So by the time you ask, because someone asked in the group, why am I not waiting for a candle to come to that particular place I drew it? I already drew the zone, so I know that, zone, the market might decide not to come here. If I just decide to test with a week and decide to start turning back. So if you say that, let me keep waiting for price to come to this particular area, price may not come there. It may not get there. Because support and resistance is not a line, it's a zone. So that's why you see people put a limit order. They might put it 1 pip away from their zone. So price will do what? You can hear some people say, oh, this thing missed me by 1 pip or missed me by XYZ pip. Sometimes you can see how I drew. This is one I used, this pullback here. Let me draw it with a pencil. This is a pullback I used to identify that zone and see how price did what? Tested it here. See the test. You can see it here before it did a breakout. So let me change it to, I'll change it to candlestick and we'll see what happened in the market. Beautiful. Reset. This is perfect. Let's assume you saw this pullback, or sorry, this sell. It broke, it retested, and you decided to do what? Sell. And it came here, you did your take profits. Price did not break it to start going down. Rather, it stopped here. Another bullish candle did this. And you decided to buy. To this place, you took your profits. Price did this, you wait. Like now, it has broken out of what? The zone. You can see it, it broke out of the zone. This is a retest. Let me use my pencil. Breakout, did a retest here. This candle did a retest and it's going up. The market can decide to retest again, but for the fact that this has happened, you can take your what? Your buy on this particular pair. It has done a retest here, closed here. You can see the bullish candle and all that. Price closed this on Friday. So let me check how much, because I'm already on a buy. Though not much pips. So you can decide to buy this pair as soon as market open. But you have to wait. Like I always say, wait for what? So below this zone is 53 pips, which is fair enough. You can take your credit out here. 19 what? 7. You can do 19,750. So your ratio is 1:8, which is fair enough. It's good. So you are risking 53 pips to get what? I want you to do 1:2. Let it be equal. Yes, 53 pips or 50 pips. You can make it 50 pips just below here. You can do your calculation, 50 pips. Why I did this is for in case there's a gap, the market gaps. If it gaps, it can just come down to this area again before it start going up. So I'm still on a buy on it, and I'm expecting price to do what? Come back up to this area. So if market open, you wait for 1 hour for everything to relax and be good, and you take your what? Your buy continues. So for Euro USD buy opportunity. CP 1.19800 SL 1.18250. Okay. Entry should be anytime. I can't fix the entry because I don't know if markets will do what. So it could be instant execution, but you have to wait till 1 hour when the market open, or you can enter tomorrow if you wish to. So this is what it is for this. Then someone said something about GBP USD, right? GBP USD and Euro. The momentum is very high. Let's see what this have for us. Okay, I'm going to change it. Let me see if I have any zone. It's almost the same thing like GJ, because they move like they're correlated pair. I don't know if, yeah, I taught correlated pair the first set of people. I think if I'll look for the document and I'll send it, correlated pair and non-correlated pair. That means pairs that move together. GU and GJ move alike. Correlated pair is when this pair is buying, the other one buys. Non-correlated pair is just like gold and USD JPY. If gold is buying, USD JPY will be selling. If gold is selling, USD JPY is what buying, because the yen have their what build their currency is gold, oil and gold. So when you see the value of oil, for those who are trading oil, is going up, you see that USD JPY will be selling. When gold is appreciating in value, yen will be gaining more power and the currency pair will be selling against what? USD. So if you need to go to Google and study correlated and non-correlated pair. It will also help you when you want to take trades. It will also help you to choose the kind of pair that you are doing, what you are trading. So you don't trade any kind of pair you see, you just take it to the market and start trading. But there are some times that it doesn't work, but not all the time. At least my early stage of trading, I've seen where gold is buying, USD JPY too as well is buying. But it doesn't happen all the time. It's a rare cases. It doesn't happen all the time. So, but they are correlated. They are non-correlated because they go opposite way. Correlated, they go the same way. So GJ and GU, they are correlated. They go the same way. If you see the drawing I drew that time, it shows you where this guy is going to. So let's see if we have another pullback to identify. Yes, there's a pullback to identify. Somewhere around here. Let me reset this. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm seeing that my network is unstable. You can see another pullback here. So this is how easy it is. This is one of the simplest way of identifying your zones. Sorry, just give me Okay, sorry, I'm sure you can hear me now. So this is one of the easiest way to identify your zones. Very easy. You don't need I was taught this by Oran Wright, I Am Academy. So this is a very beautiful trade setup. There are so many easy zones to identify here. So it can tell you how to enter your trade and exit your trade. Okay, I'm going to change this to line chart. Sorry, to candlestick. You can see how price is respecting each zone that we identified. Now see how it just keep breaking it. It broke it out. This candle retested, it didn't come out, break it out. So for now, the buy momentum is high. And you can't enter any buy now because it's on, you know, like what they say, buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. So you cannot buy on a resistance. Let me type it for those who this is their first time to do my class. Buy on a support, sell on a resistance zone. Never buy on a resistance zone or sell on a support zone. That is bad trading. So this simply means buy low, sell high. This is simple. If you go to the market, sell high. It's just like someone doing business. He goes to the factory to buy it at the low price, at the cost price. He comes to the market and he sells it to his customer at the selling price. So that is what it is now. GJ, pounds being the base currency and USD being the quote currency, is telling me that pounds is actually very strong and is stronger than USD. So now you've been buying it all the way from here. You bought it through all the way from here. Now is on a resistance zone. So see what I've told you, buy on a support zone, sell on a resistance zone. Now this is on a support zone. What we're waiting for is either to buy or to sell. But now there is no trade setup because the momentum for buy is too high. So two things are we expecting to happen. It's either this buy continue, break out from this zone, retest it. By the time it retests it, here now becomes a support zone for you to do what? Buy. That's why you see people, they enter the market, they enter from here. When it comes to another zone, they do another entry again. When they see another break and retest, they do another entry. You see that people have multiple entries. Do you get it? They have multiple entries. So if something like this happen, it shows you that, okay, yes, I think I'm going to do what? Buy this pair. But if nothing like this happen, if market opens now and you see something of this nature, price rejects it, do a retest like this, what are you going to do? You now do what? You sell it. What will you do? You sell the pair. So that's what's going to happen. So for now, no trade on GU. So the person that said GU, no trade. But if you are buying it, good. I'm sure you must have secured your profits. If you bought it, I'm sure you must have secured your profits. No trade. No opportunity. No opportunity. So what are you going to do? Sit on your hands. Sit on your hands. Any question? Okay, I'm sure you guys can hear me. So Michael that asked for GU. So you understand what I'm saying? GU, right? Okay, good. Now the next is Euro GBP. So there's no trade here. You have to wait for the analysis before you can take this trade. So for me, I'm not taking anything. I will sit on my hands and wait. Since you missed it from here, so let me give you an expo now. Correlated pair Euro USD, GBP USD, and GBP JPY. They are correlated. They move the same way. So next time, if you want to take a trade, maybe you're taking a trade on a buy, and you see that EU is buying, GU is buying. But what happens is there's one that moves first than the other. If you can see the setting of this, you can see what happened here. This moved, retested, and is moving. But you see this one, it just moved one, just like this, straight up. So you need to check the one that moves first, faster than the other one. So there is GU, EU, and GJ. They are correlated. They move the same direction. So put that down in case you are picking pairs that you want to be trading, so you know the number of pairs that you're trading. So Euro GPP. I think I have an analysis on this pair before. Oh, let me see what I have on it. I still did zoning on it. Oh, and rectangle. Oh, for those who know the Queen of Pips strategy, see how price respect, but that's not what we're teaching today. So let me delete it and see what this happened. I don't like trading this pair because the direction is not, it just moves anyhow. It moves anyhow because both currency are very strong. Euro is strong, GBP is strong. So you don't know, though Euro is the strongest of them all. Because if you see all the currency pairs, you will never see any currency pair GBP Euro. You always see Euro as a first. You never see USD Euro. You always see Euro USD, Euro GBP, Euro AUD, Euro this, Euro that. So it shows you that Euro is the strongest because it's always on the base part of the what? Of the pair. Is the base part, while the other one is on the quote. So it shows that Euro, it always consolidates so much because the both currency are very strong. So it doesn't give a good direction. That's why I don't like trading it. So this is the first pair we've identified. So you can see this. So what I'm waiting that way, looking at it, I'm expecting it because it's on a support zone, but I'm expecting it to do what? Do a retest, then come down because I've identified something else here. So let me change it to line chart. So it's showing that now there's a breakout here. So what you would do, Michael, wait for what? A retest back on this zone, then you comfortably sell to the next zone. There's something I'm going to teach in one of our classes, which is called liquidity when price needs to fill up. It's like this thing. When you see something like this, let me draw it. If I have time, I will teach it. This, something like this. This area here, price is going to fill it up, whether in the future, anytime in the future. This liquidity here, price must surely come and fill it up. So it's, oh, market has opened. This is 10 o'clock, market has opened. So what we're going to do, we have to sit on our hands and wait for this. This is a beautiful setup. There's a breakout of the zone now. So we are going to wait for what? A retest. You can see that there's a gap. See where market is and see where price is. The market is still here. Let me change this. if you can see this green line here, see the market is still here, but there's a line. So now I say always wait for what? 1 hour till everything's settled. So Michael, wait for a retest back to this zone area before you can sell to your next TP, which is this. So let me look at the 15 minutes and see if I can see a structure. But the structure already happened. Here, you can see it here. M. You can see the M. It already happened here. This candle, this bearish candle was what? A retest. This bearish candle was a retest. But since you miss entering from here, market has gone far. If you enter here, your stop loss will be much. You can see it because above the zone. So you just wait and see how the market reacts. If the market will go back up and do a retest, you can see the gap. You can see the gap here. See how where markets close, but market gapped up to this top place. So you wait for a retest up to this zone, then you can comfortably do what? Sell. So if you want to enter this is a short position, which is a sell opportunity for Euro GPP. Sell opportunity Euro GPP. Sell at 0.56. This is 0.5. 0.85 600. So wait for market to go up to that area. Then your TP should be between 60 to 100 pips. So your stop loss will be, oh, I didn't add stop loss, sorry. Stop loss will be here, 85,850. Let me add a stop loss. Always trade with stop loss. Don't be like me. The last time I had to scold myself for 2 weeks because I did not trade with stop loss and I blew the account. I grew it from $35 to about $300, almost going to $400. And I blew it up like that because of overconfidence. So there's nobody that is not above mistake. That's one thing you should look at. If you're not disciplined, you will lose out in the market. Okay, so this is it for... Yes, you can get a sell stop order if you want to. Yes. You can get a sell stop order. You can set it if you want to. But I'll prefer price to do this and relax for me to see what I want to do. Yes, you can do a sell stop order. Exactly. So this our class is 1 hour and this is 10:04. So we've actually tried. If there's any question, you can drop your question. We analyze 5 pairs. Let me put the 5 pairs down. Euro GPP, Euro USD, what's the other one? Can you remind me? GPP JPY. GPP JPY. Okay, let's see what's happening since market has opened. Oh, you can see it's still buying, so no opportunity. Let's wait. What's happening to this guy? It gapped up as well, so it's still buying, so no trade. We'll wait, we'll sit on our hands. If it breaks out and retests, we'll buy to the next zone. Oh, you can see what's happening now. It gapped down. Let's see if it's going to come here before. Let me open it well so you can see the gap. You can see the gap here in between. So we are still good. Our buy is still valid. One more question. Yes, drop your question, Michael. Gold has not opened yet. Gold will open by 11 or 12 o'clock today. So what's your question before we call it a night? Practice, practice, practice before you go live. Michael, we are waiting for your question. Okay, your question is, I am typing my, oh, do you want to unmute yourself? I can unmute you so you can ask your question. Okay, you are muted. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. The last part I analyzed, I think it was Euro GPP. Yeah, this one that I said you should wait for a retest. If the retest keep going up, then it's no more a sell. If something like this happens, if it breaks this zone like this and it retested it this way, you shouldn't look for a sell at all. You can only look for a sell if you see something like this. But if it breaks out like this, retested like this, and did not continue, you should look for a buy. So that's it. If it breaks out of this zone, do not look for selling it. Sell only when you see something of this nature. Do you understand that, Michael? All right, good. Okay, so that's how it works. As soon as it breaks above, do not sell it. You sell only when the retest stops here. If it stops here, stop within this zone here, that is when you can do what? Sell. But if it doesn't, if it breaks this zone, do not sell. Don't think of sell. The sell is invalid. So you have to wait for what? Break above a zone, retest it, you buy. Break below a zone, retest it, you sell. I think we've done enough for tonight. 5 pairs. This guy is going our way, but we'll wait till 1 hour before you can enter. This guy is still buying. Okay. He has not shown any indication, so we'll sit on our hands and wait. So only Euro GPP has given us an opportunity, Euro USD and gold. So for GBP USD and GJ, you sit on your hands and wait for the opportunity to present itself before you take your position. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's go to the chat box or go to the WhatsApp group, post your analysis, confidently enter your trade, and always use your stop loss and your trading journal. Let's see you at the top and be recognized as one of the best Master Trader Institute students. Thank you and God bless you. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.